On September 28, 2021, the current Gambia Football Federation executive celebrated 7 years in office. The executive and staff can be credited with sustaining and developing the national leagues in the country, especially through the COVID-19 pandemic, registering the various national team categories in different competitions, including registering successes by the under-20s twice in WAFO competitions, capacity building for football stakeholders, with the biggest achievement undoubtedly being the Gambia's qualification to the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time. However, these successes have not shielded the Football Federation from criticism by stakeholders on the way they are running the game in the country, particularly in relation to the funds from FIFA meant to develop football infrastructure. The FIFA Forward initiative was launched in 2016 and set aside $2.8 billion globally for football development projects. The funds are available to be accessed by national federations from 2016 to 2022. For Africa, the FIFA Forward Impact Map shows that out of $717 million available, just over $439 million, accounting for 51% of the fund, has been approved or disbursed for 306 projects. Heading the list of projects expected to benefit is the proposed football parks renovation, with the Gambia Football Federation promising the stakeholders that they would develop and build 10 football mini stadia in the country. The money to be used for this project works is from FIFA, who would ask for certain requirements and proposals before releasing funds. For the Gambia, FIFA data shows that $11.4 million has been available since 2016, of which $7.8 million has been approved. Since 2017, the Gambia Football Federation has been informing the public through their websites and other social media sites on project signings and money secured from FIFA to rehabilitate football pitches. However, stakeholders continue to ask questions about the many millions secured and why not a single football park has been completed up till now.
A very serious setback, really, to the development of football, especially from the grassroots level, for most of the big zones in the country. And I'm talking about Banjul, Serekunda, East, West, Brikama. Now, why I say it's a big setback, because this is where, over the last decade or two, where we have seen the growth and development of football been realized, in a very big way. The fact that the grounds are not usable for this Naweta and probably the next is really a major setback that the whole football community and sports fraternity should really take into consideration and address.
We took a trip to some of the football parks and communities that were earmarked for renovation to see what, if anything, has been done. Our first port of call was in Gunjur, Kombo South, to a community that has been unable to use their football ground for the past 4 years after renovation work promised by the GFF. We found a truck going in and out of the football park, bringing black sand to fill the main pitch. This ground has been under renovation for 4 years, and this is what we found. A perimeter wall appears to be the only work done here for 4 years after forcing the football community to live here and play its local Nawetan at a local football field. Dembo F. Ture is the president of the Gunjur Sports Committee.
GFF, they terminate the contract of the first contractor and then give it to another contractor.
Why did they terminate it?
Because the work was very, very slow, very slow. And secondly, when you come here, you do not feel that there is anything going on. There is no machinery around, there is nothing around. The workforce was very, very, very slow. It us because going to the school was very stressful. We did not want to go to the school. We have to go to the school authorities and plead with them to allow us to use the school ground, which was not very good for us. And then we have to have some agreements with them that we have to sign to protect their properties and so forth. Some part of their fence was having a problem. We have to fix that fence. We spend a lot of money at the school. If we had been playing here, we wouldn't spend that amount of money. But that is the situation. We accept it that way.
After Gunjur, we visited Brikama. Here, the sports committee have the biggest task of all the committees we visited. Brikama Sports Committee relies on this football park, the Box Bar Mini Stadium, as the funds collected from the Nawetan is what they use to support their male first division team, the female team and volleyball team. Now that the ground remains under this lengthy renovation, their only option is to switch to a local football ground called the SSP. The executive of the sports committee is disappointed that the GFF failed to deliver the renovation on schedule.
Absolutely, we are very much disappointed, frustrated, as you can see, because Brikama Sports Committee, Box Bar is our source of income, everybody knows, because simply reason is we have responsibilities as a committee because we have teams that are under us, like Brikama United Football Club, male and volleyball, we have basketball, and also we have Brikama United female. Even athletics is under us. So it's a frustrating moment to us as far as this park is concerned. Yes. But the entire Brikama is disappointed about it because if you know that you don't have enough fund, I don't think you should try a work which you know that it will not be finished. Because for us, even before removing this artificial turf, we have been playing. Though the turf was not very much good, but it does not stop us playing. Eventually, now everything is removed. Now we cannot do any activities here. We are very much disappointed.
We look at some of the other projects that remain unfinished after 4 years. Over the past 2 years, the Gambia Football Federation have been active in announcing the signing of contracts with companies and consultants, saying this is to give a much-needed facelift to the country's football infrastructure. The largest footballing towns were identified as the main place to start with. In the capital, Banjul, works appears to be at standstill as stakeholders and football fans patiently await resumption of football at their football field. Banjul, like many other zones, cancelled this year's rainy season Nawetan due to the unavailability of a good playing ground.
A maintenance was supposed to be carried out by the Gambia Football Federation before the COVID-19. And when this just came to the Banjul Sports Committee, and that was Nawetan period, because it was around, let's say, June, and then Nawetan was around the corner, and then we said, wow, Nawetan is just around the corner, and then these people want to carry out maintenance, and the maintenance also was important for us. They were targeting about, for this, 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months, that was the target.
And now we are into...
now I think we are in, I can say 1.5 years. 1.5 years to 2 years now. There was a group created by the Gambia Football Federation. They habilitated, I think the group was called, it's a WhatsApp group. I was the one who was representing Banjul for this, for the maintenance, for ground maintenance. That was the name of the group, ground maintenance. And we've been communicating, but never, we never received a genuine reason for the delay of this maintenance.
Banjul's ordeal is one shared by Serekunda East. Here, the committee is frustrated and disappointed with the football authorities, as they claimed they could have managed with their facility as it was playable before the so-called renovation work.
We saw the GFF started this work sometimes February of 2021. On the 10th, the work has started, and then the work is going on. The work is going on. Up to a time, they've requested further approval. The work started with the 2 dressing rooms, and then the toilets, and then all the other works. But they did not touch the field. Everything was going. They went for a further approval to tell the committee that we want to touch the field. We've asked the management of the GFF to tell them whether if you touch the field, we are going to play in Nawetan, August. They said the project is 4 months. And this was even agreed during that consultative meeting. They called us. So 4 months up to today, we've not seen much. We've seen that the project has started. At least the field is backfilled. But at least before the rainy season, at least it should have been into a very good standard. But this is what it is as at now. The dressing rooms are yet to be done. The toilets also yet, and then the field also is here at this condition.
Like Banjul and Serekunda East, neighbors Serekunda West are also suffering from the same disappointment, as their PRO explains.
We had a fruitful discussion, a meeting at the GFF house, and they give us another huge promise that by hook or crook this time they mean business. You understand? Introduce us with a consultant, you understand, and then a company responsible for the rehabilitation works at our park, which is Gff. I personally, being the representative of Serekunda West in all those meetings, you understand, was made to understand and was introduced to this consultant and the contractors, that the contractor responsible to doing with the works. But unfortunately, they came here around January, February for requesting for the committee to hand over the park so that they could kickstart with the works. But unfortunately, since the handing over was done, you understand, I personally sat for weeks or months, come back to the park to see where the stage of the work is. But unfortunately, I found out that only the chain link fence at the other side of the park is being removed by the contractor. You understand? When I realized that situation, I deemed it necessary to contact the contractor. The contractor definitely vividly told me that it is because they are not getting monies from the GFF.
The World Football Governing Body FIFA is allocating $11 million to each member association from 2016 to 2022. Infrastructural development is part of the allocation, but to access those funds, certain criteria need to be fulfilled, as explained in this video.
Everyone.
As mentioned earlier, according to FIFA, of the $11,445,000 allocated to Gambia, they have already approved $7,819,354 in different projects. On infrastructure, $1,116,750 equivalent to just over $50 million. This begs the question, where is the money? Why is $50 million not able to renovate even a single park for more than 3 years and counting?
The matter is very serious and it should be addressed. Now, I think the challenge is now on the Gambia Football Federation to come out clean and tell the people which projects. You know, in this FIFA Forward, in the new format, a lot of money is pumped from FIFA to various national associations to, to be used on projects, for example, infrastructure projects. Now, there might have been other infrastructure projects within the period you are talking about. But yes, the grounds, it's been a while, and the grounds are not done or completed. I think it is the GFF that really owes to the public to come out clean and explain how much have been approved and for what.
According to the GFF second vice president, Ibo Fai, the projects involving the renovation of parks has been a total failure, and they must take full responsibility for this.
Total failure, because maybe on hindsight, we might say that we could have concentrated on 1 or 2 or 3 and finished them, and before embarking on all these grounds. It's because we were just over ambitious, knowing that FIFA have approved certain amount of money for us.
The second vice president of the federation directed us to the GFF's projects manager, responsible for the FIFA Forward projects. However, after more than 3 weeks of trying to get an interview with the projects manager, First Vice President Bakari Jammeh decides to not return or take our calls. Meanwhile, the president of the Gambia Football Federation, Lamin Kaba Bajo, replied by text that he was not able to add to what his GFF colleague had already said in their interview with us earlier. Going further, we also engaged one of the contractors who spoke to us under the condition of anonymity, revealed to us that after signing the contract with the football authorities, he had to pre-finance and start work and had spent more than $2 million. We were not able to clarify this point with the football authorities. So, for more than 3 years and counting, football in the Gambia has looked bright, considering performances by the junior teams and qualification to our maiden AFCON. However, given the potential offered by the FIFA Forward funds, the future should be much brighter and grassroots football should have already reaped the benefit. The Gambia's entry on the FIFA website shows the funds have been allocated to 6 pitch projects, 1 stadium project, and 1 technical center. Additionally, $72,500 has gone into capacity building, $365,663 on competition, and $769,391 on what is listed as other projects. For now, the playing surface at our national stadium is an embarrassment, and at grassroots level across the country, footballers continue to struggle to get proper training and playing facilities. In contrast, during the same period, Gambia's near neighbors, Mauritania, has approved 5 projects with 96% of their $4.1 million being spent on improving infrastructure, including refurbishing the Federation's headquarters, building 1 pitch, 3 stadium projects, and a new technical center.
Très heureux et très content parce qu'on voit que le rêve qu'on avait tous ensemble il y a 5 ans, voire même un peu plus, de développer le football avec le programme Forward de la FIFA, mais on voit les résultats que ça peut donner, mais ces résultats sont possibles seulement quand il y a des personnes qui les mettent en œuvre. Donc j'aimerais encore une fois féliciter Ahmed, féliciter toute la communauté et la famille du football en Mauritanie. C'est exceptionnel ce qu'on voit ici. C'est des exemples à suivre parce que c'est des investissements réfléchis et la communauté tout entière bénéficie. Évidemment, la communauté du football en premier, mais la communauté tout entière. Et c'est ça qu'on veut. Et c'est pour ça que j'invite vraiment toute l'Afrique, mais pas seulement l'Afrique, j'invite le monde entier à venir à Nouakchott et visiter ce qui est fait ici.